Hello everybody and welcome to the Floridian. Thank you for joining us, and we have a very special guest, 20-year-old, and he's got his first PGA Tour win already. This guy is one of the rising stars on the scene at the moment. Matt Wolff.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Good to see awesome.
How's things?
Great, you know, here. Little hot, but but it's awesome. You know, the whole ride of, you know, golf and where it's taken me has been really special, and looking forward to the future, I guess.
Brilliant.
Yeah. We can't wait either. So we're talking obviously about your driving. We have to talk about your driving. We have to talk about your golf swing as well. It is quite unique, but I'll tell you what we're going to do. Before we start talking much more about this, let's hit a shot.
Yeah, let's see what it is.
We've got TrackMan in play. You haven't really had a warm-up. We said you were going to have a warm-up. You never had those warm-ups.
Oh, no, he didn't, did he?
You didn't have those warm-ups.
We'll see how it goes, yeah. So luckily, like you said, I'm 20, so.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. All right, see what numbers we get. That's still in the air. It's going to be in there for a bit longer.
Hit another one. We'll give you a
club
proper
speed.
warm-up.
I'm going to call these numbers out. Club speed, 120 miles per hour, 178 ball speed, only 335 yards.
These are just easy
That's
ones,
not
aren't they?
bad.
That was a smooth swing.
That was his starter. That's crushed.
Very nice.
And that's a little bit of fade. And you prefer the fade, don't you?
I do,
from what
yeah.
people have said.
Yeah, with the driver, I do prefer a little bit of fade. I just think it's a lot easier to control. You know, with you're trying to optimize distance and everything like that, and I feel like in order to optimize it, you have to get such low spin, and with the draw, it's kind of hard to keep the ball in the air or get it to turn over. But with the fade, it kind of increases that spin a little bit, so it's a happy medium. Yeah.
You don't need an advantage on the rest of the field, do you? You don't really need to the golf ball much further, really.
Hey, any advantage I can have over anyone on the PGA Tour, I'll definitely take it.
Cool. So look, I mean, obviously we said, look, it is quite unique. We know your swing coach, George Gankus, and he's very much embraced this as well. It would have been so easy for George to change this golf swing, but he didn't obviously want to and loved what he saw. But how did it evolve for you? What's behind this golf swing that we see now?
Well, I used to play a bunch of sports as a kid. So I played football, basketball, but the biggest two, along with golf, that I played were soccer and baseball. And I think there are things soccer and baseball that are incorporated in my golf swing. Let's say like I lift my left foot or my left heel, and in baseball that's a pretty common thing. Everyone, you know, they start with it off the ground, or they like pick it up before they're gonna hit. And also, you know, my legs are, you know, obviously they're a little bigger than most, but I mean they're very powerful. And I think, you know, I was really fast as a kid, and with baseball and soccer, I think my power comes from my legs, and, you know, definitely those sports help me, you know, have all the muscle down here in order to, you know, generate the speed that I do.
So any juniors or any parents of juniors, get some big strong legs there.
Definitely give them an opportunity to play different sports, because it sounds like that's where it's come from, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in terms of your golf swing then, you obviously see George and you work on your golf swing and you try and sort of monitor it, and where does it drift to? And so you've probably got tendencies that tend to happen that you need to maybe monitor and keep in check. Where does it tend to go, and what sort of things do you work on?
So with George, the biggest thing I work on first and foremost is rotation.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. It's turning all the way back, getting a full turn, and then from there you have the ability to turn all the way through. And I think sometimes my tendencies are to get stuck a little. So as I come through, since I use the ground so well and I put so much force, you know, when I come back, I use the ground, and then as I'm coming down, I dig into it, and then I jump up and use the ground. And so for me, when I do that, it's almost hard, because it's a lot easier to rotate when you're just like this.
Yeah.
You know, if you're staying connected to the ground, it's a lot easier to rotate. Whereas if you jump, like, how do you jump and turn at the same time?
Yeah.
It's a little difficult. So for me, I think the biggest thing is trying to stay connected to the ground, and then making sure I complete that turn all the way through, and make sure to, you know, get my shoulders around, get my hips around, get that back foot around, and then get my head out. And, you know, I think with the unique swing, I have a feeling of I bring it across the line with my hands, but then I drop it in the slot. And as long as I rotate with dropping it in the slot, you know, it's going to come out how I want it to, and I'll be able to manipulate the ball like I want to.
And is that where your little sort of preset move is like a key for that rotation? Is that where that comes from for you?
Yeah, so it is. So at first it was for, George would always say, show me impact. And so he doesn't want me to, at impact, to be like this. He wants me to be more like, you know, hands forward, hips around, everything, firing towards the target. And so it kind of got into like a little like move like that. So now, I do it before every single shot.
And you probably don't even feel it really, it just happens and automatic. And
it really does, because people ask me, 30, 40-yard shots, they're like, do you do it? Like, what's the yardage that you don't do that anymore? And I said, it's really a feel thing. I said, by the greens, I usually don't do it, but sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do it, and then my body just instinctively just goes like that, and then I'll hit the shot.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting because that's one of the questions that we were asked. So we put up some posts on Instagram and YouTube. What do you want to know? And there's like literally a lot of questions about what do you do when you play those mini shots. We'll maybe come to that later. But let's hit one more. We'll say one more. We're going to hit loads.
I want to see a couple.
I'll see another one, because we need to see a slow-mo on this, don't we? We need to have a look at this rotation that we're talking about.
Perfect.
We'll look for the load and the turn into the backswing. Look how you use the ground in a downswing, and then we'll see that jump as you go through.
We'll even see that lead foot jump back, which is again you rotating and moving that way, isn't it?
Exactly.
You look at a long driver, Andy. Obviously, the long drive champions, they all do that, don't they?
Yeah.
What's your average sort of driver speed in terms of when you're on course, tournament speed?
So I think on the course, it's around 123 to 125, just because you have adrenaline pumping and all that stuff. And usually if I try to guide it or swing easier, I don't hit it as straight. Whereas if I let the natural, motion of my swing take its place, it should, I usually do hit it straighter. So usually it's, or maybe not, 122 to 125, something like that. And then usually when I'm out here, it's anywhere from 120 to 123. So
it's amazing, isn't it? A lot of amateurs will get told that I think, I need to swing it slower. Let me swing slow. But often swinging faster is more beneficial, because you can just fire. The club face is more stable through impact. There's so much more benefits to going at a good speed.
Yeah, and there's a difference between faster and out of control.
Exactly.
I'm not saying I'm swinging out of my shoes and not being able to control it. I'm saying fast, but not, trying to guide it or not hesitant when I'm coming through the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Should we go to questions?
Yeah, it's just a quick one. Just 333. That's all, Andy. Just
Okay.
333.
333. Was that carry or was that total?
That was actually total. It was around about. It was 322 carry though. So it's obviously quite soft out there.
Okay, so let's go to some questions then. We've got, first of all, what do you do differently when you've got 40 to 80 yards with your wedges?
There we go.
So
that was from Turner Golf Tips.
So with the pre-shot routine, that's something that's really just a feel thing. I mean, I could have 50 yards and not do it, and then the next hole have the same yardage and do it. It's really just all a feel thing, depending on like where the pin is or how I feel over the shot. But for 40 to 80 yard shots, since it's such a short shot, sometimes what I'll do is, it's with my swing, with how unique it is, and let's say how much it works. On those shorter shots, sometimes it's a little difficult because it's hard to hit a 40-yard shot taking it this way, because you have to take it all the way and loop it around and everything. So on those shorter shots, I try to take it a little more like inside and, kind of just not, I'm not trying to focus on getting it inside, but it's just hard to really, hit a ball that easy when you're taking that big of a swing.
So I suppose the yardage, as you say, it dictates the swing length. So straight away, that'll guide it on whichever path it wants to go on.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. So I think that's the biggest thing, is not only the trigger, but on those 40 to 80 yard shots, maybe getting a little simpler. Yeah. Instead of on those 80 yard shots, you're going to take more of a full swing. So you just let the motion of whatever your swing looks like and however it feels, let that take place. But on those 40 yard shots, maybe just keep the lower body, or keep the motion a little quieter, and then really just focus on making sure to get through the ball and clipping it nice.
Yeah, we saw some of the shots earlier on the range, and it was very much obviously a lot more synced up, as opposed to this obviously downward force and coming back.
Exactly.
We don't need that on a 40 yard pitch
Yeah,
shot.
exactly.
Okay, we've got Mike Mannion. He said, how much do you work on flexibility?
So before every round, no matter hitting balls, if I hit balls for 10 minutes, if I hit balls for an hour, I always stretch before. While I'm on the PGA Tour, I have a physio guy who stretches me, and I get stretched before and after the round. So that is really important to me, because I think there's a fine line between being too flexible and not flexible enough, because with the power that I generate and the torque and the motion that I kind of have, sometimes if I'm not being flexible and keep my body up to par, then it can obviously. I mean, look at Tiger.
Yeah,
It's
you've got to be strong enough to cope with that speed.
You do.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's one thing that you have to be flexible for that. But also, I feel like my swing is supposed to be in certain spots, and I'm not saying like a robot. I'm just saying, you know, I need to get in certain positions, and I think if you get too flexible, like, you know, let's say you know, this shoulder is just way too flexible. It's like, well, my arms are gonna go way back here.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't want that. I don't want that, you know, huge motion. So I think there's definitely a happy medium to being flexible, but it's definitely important.
Yeah. Great.
Nothing's penetrating those legs, though, is it?
No,
Really?
nothing.
It's going to happen because of those legs. Come on.
Right, we've got one more question. We've got Mark Boyd. What do you do with regards to the mental side of the game? Example, focus, concentration, or getting over the bad shots?
I think George is circling around, by the way, and he's playing though. I can hear his playing noise. I think he's just actually,
He might be up there, checking on what I'm gonna say. But it is difficult to cope with bad shots. I mean, everyone's gonna hit them, and I think that's kind of what you have to tell yourself is, you know, no one's gonna hit however many good shots in a tournament. I mean, everyone's gonna have bad shots. You know, you're gonna hit it in the water. You're gonna hit it OB. It happens. It's golf, and I think the most important thing is just, you know, like I said, keeping a level head and making sure that you don't let those affect you, because it's going to happen to everyone. And for me personally, I always play my best when I have a good attitude, when I'm happy on the course, I'm having a good time. And I think when I hit those bad shots or make a bogey and I get down on myself, the only thing it's going to do is affect me worse in you know, for the next couple holes. Like I'm saying this now, and I guarantee you I might get out on the course and you know, have an awful attitude. Yeah, but I think, you know, if you keep on telling yourself that, eventually it will change, and that might come with maturity too. But it's just important to, you know, everyone hits them. It's okay. It's going to happen. And something that my college coach, Coach Bratton, always told me at Oklahoma State, he just said, you know, you hit a bad shot and you put yourself in a bad spot, well, that gives you an opportunity to show off getting out of that bad spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I always kind of look at.
It,
Exactly. So you might not be in a best spot, but it'd be pretty sweet if you hit it to 10 feet from the trees.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
So
it's a good mindset to have. Piers.
Definitely.
Maybe you should adopt that next time you play.
I like breaking clubs. Right, we're going to take him on. Driving
Well,
challenge.
I think we said we are going to, but I don't know why we should.
Well, but we can't take him on for distance, surely.
No.
So you should have a straightest drive.
Well, we can have a go. I don't know why, but we can have a go, Piers.
Yeah, okay. If one of us hits the fairway, it counts as the
Exactly.
straightest.
I'm happy with the fairway.
Let's do straightest, yeah?
Do we get warm-ups?
I don't think we do we?
No.
Do we go straight into it?
I mean, you guys can have a couple warm-up swings if you want.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you know after I've hit it.
Yeah. And we're just going to go offline on Trackman.
Offline on Trackman, so we got it on that bunker there.
Perfect.
Jeez.
We get to test these new drivers out, Piers, as well.
Do you like it? Do you like the new driver?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's I mean, it's definitely the best driver I've hit. And
Really, yeah.
Yeah,
Straight
I mean,
away, that's good, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. I feel like it's just as forgiving as the old one, but it's a little hotter, and it's just you can. I like what I can shape this both ways, and I feel like it doesn't really get away from me. I feel like the old driver, it is really forgiving, but you know, it can get away from you if you know, if there's wind or stuff. I feel like this one really holds up in the wind. I mean, there's nothing right now, but but from what I've hit, it's been really awesome and forgiving.
The mover one, the Sim, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the Max here. I haven't tried this one out yet.
Max,
really,
Yes, yes, that's a good idea, Andy.
Do you want to go first?
You want me to go first?
You have,
okay.
if we're allowed one warm-up shot, well, I think we're allowed one.
We're going to see what happens after this one. If I neck it and it goes dead straight, that'll do.
Just the last club speed was 122.5.
Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. I'll do well with ball speed.
I'm having a little walk over here.
Ball speed 122 would do. I'll tell you what we were trying yesterday, the 3-wood. 3-wood was a joke.
3-wood was good, wasn't it?
It was really good. Yeah,
really long.
I have a 15-degree 3-wood, and I might have to knock it up a notch just to.
Yeah, it was so long, wasn't it?
It was so long.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's nice to have a long 3-wood. You always think like, how would that be a problem? But you know, when you have, because I only go driver 3-wood and then 2-iron.
Yeah.
So I hit my 2-iron about like 260 in the air, like 255, 260. So if I'm hitting my 3-wood 290, it's like, what do I do if I have 270? You know.
You want it coming down a little softer as well, don't you? Generally 3-wood.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, Piers.
I'm going to go on the theory of hitting it relatively hard.
What is the line, by the way? Is it the left corner of the bunker or the right corner?
Yeah, you're on my team, aren't you? So I'm going to tell you the right one. Okay, so it's the bunker left, and it's the left-hand edge of it.
Okay.
So just right to that purpley.
Yeah, wind is a little off the right though. I'm really trying to help you guys.
I like it. You help us out by hitting it over on that fairway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was pulling him a little bit, Andy, yesterday, so I'm going to go.
You're going to allow for it today. That's a good idea.
I'm going to pull it back on the wind. no. So we get that warm up one, yeah?
Yeah,
Warm-up
definitely.
one, yeah, there's the warm-up one. I think
good.
the wind,
It's a
the
good-
wind
it's a
picked
good-
up
it's a
then.
good
Piers.
looking
It
swing.
was
Really
really
picked up
powerful. The
then.
wind was there.
Trust me, you haven't seen my first shots with a driver when I was warming up.
Oh, that was a little bit offline. Are we saying offline on the total, or on the pitch?
Total offline. Let's just go total offline.
Okay, total offline.
Okay.
Bottom one.
Bottom one, 138.
You don't have to, that's a warm up. Come
Sorry, I
on.
shouldn't have said that.
All right. That's feet, by the way, not
Yeah,
yards.
yeah.
For those who are watching. Okay. Oh, I definitely feel like I'm aiming further right now.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that's a beautiful shot, Piers.
I mean, that's
The wind's picking up though.
it's gonna be hard to beat that.
That's nice.
Very
Decent
nice.
shot.
Nice.
What is
See
that?
what that's saying? 21
21
feet.
feet.
21.
Woohoo!
That's pretty good.
21 feet.
21 feet, and it's gone 334. No, it hasn't.
Feet.
Yeah. Touche.
Okay, right.
What was it? 21.
21.
21, yeah. That's gonna be
21.
hard
So
to beat.
it's me and him against you, by the way.
Two against
so
one.
if he
It's only
beats
fair.
because you just like a man, aren't you, with the driver?
I mean, I don't know.
Right,
I'm pretty accurate, but that's 21 feet's hard. If you give me 21 footer, hitting it 300 yards even,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Warm up.
get the warm up on out the way, Piers.
This one should be perfect.
Yeah, there we go, exactly.
It's exactly what your warm up did
You're not
too.
getting one.
Right. I don't have to put so much power in now. It's soft, Piers. No, it's sorry, accuracy.
Yeah, but you hit it hard, you hit it straight around.
You're right. That's right.
I do believe that. I tell you what, I agree totally. Oh!
Come on, baby.
It's right, it's going to land. It's at 0.
I mean, that's literally.
Oh. What's that saying?
7
feet,
points.
right.
Andy,
We've got a chance.
Andy, what's happened to you?
Got a
It's right up in
chance.
the air.
You
What are you
kidding
going to
me?
do with it?
We've got a chance. I'm not doing anything yet, Piers.
Come on, you can do it now.
I'm not doing anything yet.
7.8. How many shots do I get?
2. We'll give you 2.
We're going to give
Oh,
you
okay,
two.
We'll
okay.
give you 2.
All right.
Only fair.
We'll see.
Ah, 30 yards past us.
Yeah, it's definitely
A
past us.
little left. Speeds again, 121. So you don't necessarily hit it much softer when, as you said, when you're hitting it hard.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you're trying to hit it straight even.
50,
59.
60. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
59.
still probably in the fairway.
Oh, yeah.
It's in this fairway.
So good, isn't it? We hit it. This is
Same
left,
thing.
though. It's the only way we could have
That's
won
the only
that
way we're
challenge.
gonna win. That was the only
we
way.
won that challenge.
Just a
Matt,
hair left.
thank you so much for your
Of
time.
course,
Matt.
yeah. Thank you
Awesome,
for
yeah,
having
thank
me.
you
Really
very much.
appreciate
Really good
it,
insight
and we hope
there.
we get to do this again with you because it's been superb listening to
I'd
you.
love
Really
to.
has.
All the best for this season. You know, I'm sure it's going to be an interesting few years for you, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I
And also,
appreciate it.
guys, if you enjoyed the video, Matt, what are they going to do?
Gotta go like and subscribe.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Thanks then.